Welcome to Mystic Realms Recap. Please like, share, and subscribe. Enjoy today's episode.
Island countries, major ports, and major airports are all overcrowded. When the Prime Minister of the island country made the news public, only a very small number of people chose to believe in the strength of the country and felt that the country had a solution. Most islanders still have sufficient IQ. Get off. Get off. Let me get on the plane first. Let me get on first. There are pregnant women. Don't crowd. What's wrong with the pregnant woman? Whoever gets it first is whoever gets it. Tickets, please show the tickets. Only US dollars are accepted. 10,000 US dollars. And those without a ticket are not allowed to board. Hurry up and sail. Stupid. I have no money. Please, let me go up. If you have no money, then die. The quarrels of the airport, the port, and wherever you can leave the country are continuous. With the continuous destruction of Yi Bay in the island city, the vibration of the entire island country is getting louder and louder. To survive, these people can do anything. Island country, Prime Minister's office. Your Excellency, about 10 minutes ago, the Emperor had already evacuated from the island country by helicopter and went to the US for refuge. That monster is constantly raging in the city. Every minute and every second, a large number of humans die. Your Lord, Your Excellency, there is no hope for the island country. Let's leave quickly. A minister's voice trembled, and his tone was pleading. Although it is important to escape, but at this time, if the Prime Minister does not leave, he does not dare to leave first. Yes, leave first. As long as you live, there is hope of counterattack. Those monsters, we will kill him sooner or later, and it is very unwise to stay here and wait to be killed. They have always been hardliners. Kawano, who was determined to face the mutant beasts, spoke at this time. After watching the ruins of the island country being crushed by a giant python, this guy instantly put all his hatred behind him, and now the only one the idea is to leave this country as soon as possible. Prime Minister, move. Otherwise, we will all die. Yes, as long as we are still alive, we have hope. The ministers said one after another, with desperate expressions all over their faces. As for the island Prime Minister, his face was pale. He raised his head slightly, looked at the big screen in front, and after hearing the noisy sounds around him, he slowly said, "It's too late. Guys, we can't leave all of us. Now, this monster has been destined to be like this since it appeared in the island country." Why? Impossible. Prime Minister. Everyone shouted. Look at where the monster is now and where he is heading. The island Prime Minister continued. Hearing this, those people no longer focused on Yi Bei's body, but looked at the surrounding buildings. He came towards us. This is near the Prime Minister's mansion. Damn, this monster is too fast. It's over. We will all become his food. After the decision was made, the ministers of these island countries were all ashamed. Escape, no matter what. Prime Minister, there must be a safe house here. Take us there immediately. Owano growled. When he looked at the Prime Minister before, his eyes were in awe, but now, his eyes are more intense. Many are crazy and angry. Whoops. At the same time as the voice fell, Owano rushed towards the island Prime Minister with a loud slam, grabbing his shoulders firmly with both hands, aggressively. Yes, safe house. Damn amp. Open the safe house immediately. Damn, I don't want to die yet. Take us to the safe house, otherwise you will definitely die first today. Seeing that Yi Bei was getting closer and closer, these island ministers were completely crazy, glaring at the island Prime Minister, threatening, intimidating, and cursing. As for the island Prime Minister, when faced with these voices, he didn't say a word, just turned his eyes on Yi Bei's side. Rumble. Outside. Familiar landmark buildings collapsed. Countless people from island countries fled frantically to survive, and the whole country was wailing. Wrong. I really did something wrong. Faced with such a monster, I kept sending out troops and various small teams in an attempt to provoke them. If we can have this day, all mankind cannot escape responsibility. If we don't go from the beginning if you provoke them, this day will definitely not come so soon. Although the war between races will begin sooner or later, but the time left for us to prepare must be extremely sufficient. The island Prime Minister muttered to himself. When he said this, his eyes widened. On the big screen, Yi-Bei, who had been colliding quickly, slowly slowed down and finally stopped. However, directly below Yi-Bei's huge body is the Tokyo Tower, the most iconic building in the island nation. Stop it. Is he going to bypass Tokyo Tower? Great, he stopped. Some angry, frightened, and distorted island ministers, when they discovered that Yi-Bei had stopped, cheered in their mouths. Roar. Above the ruins of the city, Yi-Bei crushed all the way, destroyed countless buildings, and rushed to Tokyo Tower. Chi. Looking at Tokyo Tower, Yi-Bei spit out a scarlet letter. Island country, in a sense, it's not the first time I have come here. But that's all things before. The toxins in my teeth are extremely powerful now. There is no creature on the earth that can resist it. If you use it for testing, meaningless. By the way, toxins are also highly corrosive. Can they corrode Tokyo Tower? Squinting his eyes, when Yi-Bei saw the Tokyo Tower, he didn't have the slightest romantic idea, but was thinking about whether his toxin would have an effect on this huge iron tower. And when Yi-Bei's idea appeared, he immediately began to act. Chi. The mouth suddenly opened wide. On both sides of the mouth, those super long fangs suddenly grew out with two chuckles. At the same time, two rows of extremely sharp teeth appeared in the mouth. This guy, are you going to crush Tokyo Tower? What does he want to do? All over the world, heads of state, there are many doubts in their minds at this moment. And the Tokyo Tower scene. Tick, tick. Yi-Bei's body was too big. When erected, it was far higher than the height of Tokyo Tower. When the fangs appeared, Yi-Bei's body was entrenched, the muscles in his mouth squirmed, and the toxins hidden in the teeth tick and fell on the Tokyo Tower. On. Zzz. When those toxins came into contact with the iron tower, white smoke immediately appeared, sizzling. Any place where the toxins were stained became pitch black. Island country, Prime Minister's office. Those ministers who just celebrated Yi-Bei's stopping saw this. Their faces were ashes. Zzz. Yi-Bei didn't get a lot of toxins. But when these toxins came into contact with the Tokyo Tower, the entire Tokyo Tower began to corrode at a speed visible to the naked eye, and even the white smoke that permeated it was highly toxic. The human beings hiding nearby just took a small breath of such gas, twitching all over, foaming at the mouth, looking dark and falling to the ground. Indestructible defense power. Beyond understanding the length and diameter of the body, even the mouth can emit flames and shoot fighter jets flying at the speed of sound. And now, the toxins overflowing from the teeth are still terribly corrosive. Even steel can corrode. This kind of monster, what else in this world can hurt him? It is simply an invincible existence, which can only appear in the legend. The Prime Minister of the island country had lost his eyes and was full of regrets, regretting that he knew it was too late. Zzz. On Yi-Bei's side, when the toxin overflowed and easily corroded the Tokyo Tower, he was quite satisfied. The next moment, those icy eyes looked condescendingly at the island Prime Minister's mansion in the distance. Chi. A scarlet letter came out of his mouth. The fangs retracted. The majestic voice sounded immediately. The Prime Minister of the island country and the ministers of the island country, I know you are there. Get out of here immediately. Wow. The voice was deafening and vigorous. Prime Minister's mansion. The ministers felt their eardrums buzzing. Plop, plop, plop. After hearing this sound, without exception, they all thumping on their knees, trying to escape deep in their hearts, but they couldn't get out of any force. 1 minute later, Yi-Bei used his body shape ability to become 1 meter long and quickly entered the island Prime Minister's office. In front of him were the island ministers kneeling neatly. Snake God, please don't kill me. Let me do anything. I am willing to join your army of beast gods and even work for you. Please don't kill me. Owano knelt on the ground, and when he saw Yi-Bei appear, this guy was the first person to surrender. His voice kept begging. This reaction speed made the surrounding island ministers all look at each other. When Owano was targeting the mutant beast army before, one of them belonged to the Hawks, and the reaction was extremely fierce, and he couldn't wait to slash those monsters. Now this attitude has directly taken a 180-degree turn. But Owano's actions undoubtedly infected many people. No, don't kill me. I can propose to our country some policies that are good for the mutant beast army. Let me go. I don't know anything, and I am willing to join you. Snake God. It was the Prime Minister who asked the island self-defense forces to attack you. I was opposed to it at the time, but he didn't listen at all. I don't know what happened. eBay was entrenched at the door. The ministers of the island countries inside are completely ugly, with all kinds of pleading voices constantly. Even the Prime Minister of the island country is eager to try, but this guy is smarter. He is familiar with eBay's style and knows deeply. Please, absolutely nothing can be changed. Winners and losers. When humans rule this world, they are standing on top of the world. All other creatures are called aliens, used as tools and used as food. This is also the law of natural evolution. When the beasts as a whole surpass humans, the fate of humans can be imagined. We humans are right, and you are right. Call. The muscles at the corners of the mouth twitch. When the island prime minister looked at eBay, he gritted his teeth and slowly said something like this. Okay. eBay narrowed his eyes slightly. To be honest, this realization of the island prime minister surprised him very much. Countless years ago, when the beasts on Earth were strong, humans also fought with beasts for a while. In the end, mankind won and claimed to be a high-level animal. All other beasts became food for mankind. The laws of nature, the strong survive. While mankind made many creatures go extinct, at the last moment they also gained a lot of consciousness and protected some of the endangered creatures. From this point of view, what mankind does meets the standards of a powerful race. Chi. eBay spit a scarlet letter. At the beginning, he had imagined that he would directly destroy all mankind, and then develop an army of mutant beasts to occupy the entire Earth. But as time goes on, eBay thinks more directions. As the king of the mutant beast army, there is no need to slaughter humans and treat humans as the main source of food. There are stronger creatures in the universe. Humans just use excessive food. In addition, humans consider themselves advanced animals, but to put it more directly, they are no different from the beasts with wisdom. Looking to the future, it is very likely that human beings will also belong to one of the mutant beasts army under the jurisdiction of eBay. Then, what do you mean? When the island prime minister heard what eBay said, his eyes lit up slightly, as if he had seen the hope of living. Don't worry. Even if there are humans living, it will not be an island country. I am here for a very simple purpose. I just want to tell you one thing. I am going to use the entire island country for an experiment. Humans, you said, I am now openly appearing in the island country, and I am destroying it unscrupulously. Although there are a large number of living humans in it. Do you think those powerful countries will destroy the entire island country because they want to destroy me? Chi. eBay spit out Shinzi and continued, his eyes kept cold. The prime minister of the island country and the ministers of that kind, all their eyes widened when they heard this. What is the answer? They immediately have judgment in their hearts. Call. The prime minister of the island country took a deep breath and his face was ashamed. If you do not appear in our island country this time, but in other countries, I think everyone here will support the major countries without hesitation. Launch a devastating weapon against a country with mutant beasts. Let other creatures live together and guarantee a certain number of them. This is when there is an absolute gap between the strength of those creatures and human beings. The rise of alien races, human beings are threatened by survival. There is no room for negotiation, only war. After these words, the whole hall was silent. Those island ministers couldn't say a word. As for eBay's gaze, it became deeper at this moment, when the island nation faces an unprecedented disaster. America, an oil exploration base built entirely of steel, is directly below. Wow. A square space surrounded by glass is constantly humming. President Golden Retriever and a man in a suit are standing in the transparent glass elevator. The man in the suit has a calm face, but President Golden Retriever has his eyes widened and shocked throughout the process. Is this the 51st district in the legend? Unbelievable. There is such a place in the world. President Golden Retriever could not help exclaiming. The man in the suit next to him smiled indifferently. Your Excellency, the Earth has existed for too long. Any miracle can happen. In fact, the research base in the Sahara Desert is not much worse than here. That place is built in sand. Among them, this place is built in the deep sea. How deep are we going to dive? President Golden Retriever looked at the various fishes in the deep sea that were constantly swimming from the side through the glass windows that released silver light. To be honest, the environment here is a bit like the underwater world, but it's better than that. Tens of thousands times larger. The deep sea is 2 kilometers. The 51st District was originally created by Mr. Washington. It is completely autonomous and serves the United States. If it weren't for the appearance of mutant beasts, you would never have the chance to come here. Always with a signature smile. As if he was not worried about whether President Golden Retriever would be angry at all, he continued. Since it was discovered more than 300 years ago, it has been isolated from the outside world. Only the scientists we need or it will be sent here by some means. The 51st District is not located in a desolate area in the United States, like the outside rumors. It is just a fake location we deliberately exposed. Then, there are really aliens. President Golden Retriever asked curiously. Although he is the President of the United States, but he is also a normal human being and naturally possesses great curiosity. Of course, the universe is vast, billions of stars, and it is normal for other beings to exist. Your Excellency, since I brought you here today, I will naturally let you see them all. Unbelievable. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I think it would be impossible to create these for at least 100 years with the current technology of mankind. 2 kilometers under the sea, a huge space, an automatic exhaust system, resisting the pressure of the sea. Transparent elevator. President Golden Retriever didn't care about the arrogant attitude of the man in the suit. His eyes kept shooting all around, exclaiming again and again. To be precise, this is not something that human technology can do. Everything here is rebuilt on the basis of the civilization of the beast gods. The same is true on the Sahara Desert. It's just a pity. Even if you can use this, however, we have not thoroughly studied the technology of the beast civilization, but it should be more than enough to deal with those monsters. When he said this, there was a wave of waves in the eyes of the man in the suit. As an avid scientific researcher, he doesn't have much interest in the struggle of mankind. What really excites him is technology. Beast god civilization? President Golden Retriever murmured. Yes, Your Excellency. Next you will witness the magic and shock of the beast civilization technology. Before arriving in the 51st District, let me introduce you in detail. The man in the suit nodded his head and then said, the 51 District is located 2 kilometers deep in the sea and is built on the bottom of the seabed. Here, there are 51 large research institutes with a total area of more than 20 square kilometers. Every research institute has different things in charge of research. Biology, science and technology, astronomy, extraterrestrial life. Among them, every research institute has a separate person in charge, funding, and joint allocation. Over the years, it has always been fully funded by the US government. As for the researchers, there are more than 20,000 people here. Even Einstein, who has died, and all the famous scientists since the establishment of the United States, all of them are still alive. The man in the suit spoke slowly. Originally, President Golden Retriever's eyes were all attracted by the deep-sea world outside the glass. But after hearing this, his body suddenly stunned, and his eyes widened. Einstein is still alive. All the famous scientists are alive, just in District 51? Are you no kidding? When he said yes, he swallowed frantically. Row is that he is the most powerful man in the world, and he can't calm down when he gets this news. You know, in the history of the United States, every famous scientist symbolizes an era and is the wealth of mankind. Its value is inestimable. If they were all alive, it would be shocking enough to think about it. Of course, no kidding. Since the establishment of the 51st District, we have been paying close attention to everything about the outside world. The technology here is far beyond imagination. If you want, a person can live forever. The premise is that this person must have enough value. When he said this, a touch of vicissitudes and contempt appeared in the eyes of the man in the suit. Obviously, in his concept, President Golden Retriever is only an 8-year president at most. In terms of its value, it is not comparable to those scientists. Then, how old are you now? President Golden Retriever's eyes flickered, and his brain cells were burning wildly. Me? The man in the suit paused slightly, and then smiled. As a receptionist for the 51st District, I have been here since Mr. Washington founded this district. Maybe 350, maybe 400. To be honest, I don't remember this kind of thing very clearly. When talking, he spread his hands, a helpless expression. Next, can I visit the research institute where a person can live more than 100 years? President Golden Retriever asked without hesitation. He has money. The more money you have, the more you want to have enough lives to squander. President Golden Retriever is no exception. Let him know the news today. Deep down in his heart, he has made up his mind to increase his lifespan no matter what the price is. Of course can. The man in the suit smiled slightly, looking very gentleman and elegant. Calm. When his voice fell, he stopped with a croak, and the surrounding environment had completely changed. President Golden Retriever is still in a daze. The man in the suit spoke again. Well, Your Excellency, the door in front of you is the last door leading to the 51st District. After entering, we will be there. When speaking, he pointed to the huge piece behind President Golden Retriever. Metal. On the metal is a very familiar pattern. Huh? It's... Hearing the explanation from the man in the suit along the way, President Golden Retriever could be said to be shocked. When he arrived at the gate here, he still hadn't reacted. The sea is the best cover for the 51st District. No one here can find it. Your Excellency, please come with me. The gentleman in a suit reaches out his hand. President Golden Retriever turned. In the next instant, his gaze happened to hit the huge piece of metal. On the metal block, all densely packed, are mysterious runes. In the middle is a carved eye. Profound. Quiet. Weird. It seems to be alive, making the scalp numb. The moment President Golden Retriever and the eyes met, the sky was spinning for a while, and then the whole person became in a trance. Take a deep breath, Your Excellency, take a deep breath, and don't focus on this piece of metal. These divine eyes can disturb the minds of ordinary people. If there is no guidance, it is very likely that they will go crazy here. Just as President Golden Retriever felt countless messy things in his mind, a calm voice sounded. This voice seems to have some kind of powerful magic. After entering the ears, it swept the entire head in an instant. Call. Then President Golden Retriever glared, and he came over immediately. The eye is the racial emblem of the beast civilization. The eye engraved on our US currency is the eye, but that eye is an imitation and does not have the effect of affecting spiritual power. This thing is generally the best for humans. Don't look at it. Okay, Your Excellency, next place your hand on this eye, and we can enter the 51st District. The man in the suit grinned slightly, and when he saw President Golden Retriever return to normal, he said very plainly. As for the divine eyes, he was completely too lazy to explain that this thing came from ancient civilization, and with the current technological methods, it is impossible to analyze it at all. Put your hand on that eye. President Golden Retriever opened his mouth wide. The body trembled slightly unconsciously. This time, because he entered the 51st District, he was forbidden to bring bodyguards, and there was a man in a suit next to him. The eye on the huge metal was really weird. Just a glance just now made him feel dizzy. If you touch it with your hands. To be honest, President Golden Retriever is not brave enough. He was frightened. Yes, just put it on the dark eyeball. This time Your Excellency comes. Everyone in it already knows that I can communicate with it, and they will open the door for you. The man in the suit nodded. At this time, President Golden Retriever's whole body trembled. But he has no choice. Whoosh. Resolutely stretched out his hand, closed his eyes at the same time, and put his hand on the eyeball of God Eye. Click. Just put it on. A crisp sound came immediately. What happened? The palm of his hand numbed slightly, and President Golden Retriever's eyes widened immediately. Then his pupils contracted violently. The huge metal iron gate in front of him had all disappeared, and what appeared in front of him was a completely new world. Blue sky and white clouds. Asphalt road. A sports car floating in the air and flying fast. Built on the roadside, villas look full of science fiction. At the same time, in front of him, there stood a man in a suit and black sunglasses, who looked very gentleman, and a woman with blonde hair and blue eyes, and a wise woman in black leather. Where is this? District 51? How do I feel like I have traveled through? Isn't this the source of peach blossoms in China? President Jean Mao couldn't help it anymore. Everything here was let him full of curiosity. What he saw in front of him was completely different from the 51st district he had imagined. The huge metal gate just now is actually a space portal. When you put your hand on it, there will be magical energy released in it, teleporting the creatures by themselves. As for staying away, we are still conquering, but it is very likely. It is to particle the organisms and then recombine them. Because the time is very short, less than 0.01 seconds, so there will be no pain. The man in the suit of the guide was still there. When he finished saying this, he went directly to President Golden Retriever. Right in front, he stretched out his hand with a smile on his face. Your Excellency, we can meet again. My name is Neo. I am the Chief Security Officer of the 51st District. I am responsible for all security issues here. The two in front of you are the District Mayor Morpheus and the Deputy District Mayor Trinity. Hello, Your Excellency the President of the United States. District Chief Murphy's was dark-skinned and wore a pair of black sunglasses. After the introduction, he took the initiative to walk to President Golden Retriever to embrace him in a suit and etiquette. It's nice to meet you, Your Excellency. Here today, I think you will find the right weapon. The Earth, and even the United States, will always be dominated by us humans, and we will do our best to help you. Trinina smiled gracefully. My Lord District Chief, next, I will bring His Excellency the President of the United States into the Arms Research Institute. Please approve. Neo looked at Murphy's. Among the 51st districts, the district chief is the largest. Even the U.S. President does not have any command authority here. It is no exaggeration to say that this is a completely independent zone. Of course, this time it's a big deal. Trinina and I will accompany Your Excellency the President of the United States. Morpheus nodded. Then Neo leads the way. 3 minutes later, a group of people came to the entrance of a retro-style Western villa. There was no name. There was only one number on the house number, 9. Creak. Morpheus walked in front and put his hand on the doorplate electronic device. The next second, the door creaked and slowly opened. After seeing the situation inside, President Golden Retriever's eyes suddenly widened. Unbelievable. Are all robots doing everything here? Are all intelligent? Exclaimed. Yes, behind the gate, all are brand new robots. And there are a lot of strange instruments in it. Some are similar to a bazooka. Some look like particle colliders. As for the dense clusters, all kinds of glass helmets, all kinds of threads, all kinds of test beds are countless. This is for the study of weapons? I feel that this is more like a place for studying biology. After President Golden Retriever glanced around, his tone was quite puzzled. Your Excellency, next, let me introduce you to the weapons here. Morpheus smiled. It is indeed very different from those outside arsenals. But the embryonic form of future weapons has indeed been produced here. Your Excellency, the number 9 Research Institute, so far, has researched 3 weapons that threaten the civilization of the beasts. For us, we have been working hard here for these years. Morpheus led the way and said as he walked. Strictly speaking, since the establishment of the U.S., we know that the civilization of beast gods exists, and we have been guarding it. The universe is too big, and there are countless unknown lives. It's just that these news are not suitable for publicity. In fact, regarding what happened outside, we had expected it a long time ago. Neo also said, with a very calm tone. It seems that the mutant beasts that are appearing on the Earth are not scary at all. Yes, human beings have entered into modern civilization. Except for the turf and wars between their own races, they have never had war with other races. From this point of view, mankind is extremely lucky. Even so far, it is incredible that it has not been colonized by alien intelligent creatures. Trinina also nodded. It's just that when President Golden Retriever heard these words, his forehead was full of black lines. Perhaps so. It's just this kind of thing that I can't accept for a while. Ever since I was a child, countless scientists have insisted that humans are lonely and the only intelligent creatures in the universe. Now that I hear this, to be honest, I feel it's like dreaming. When speaking, President Golden Retriever spread his hands out with a helpless expression on his face. 15 seconds later, Morpheus, who led the way, stopped. Your Excellency, The first weapon I will introduce to you next is called a sonic weapon. Modern science also has such weapons, but the attack power is not very strong. The sonic waves here are different. Used in the military and can be directed to launch, converge sound waves into a straight line. Even the most powerful life, it will be penetrated instantly, directly shattering the internal organs into fragments and instantly killing. Morpheus stood in front of a silver-white object, his voice very calm. The busy robots around did not stop because of his appearance, and the order was still perfect. This thing looks like a flashlight. Portable. It's silvery white. It looks very sci-fi, but this kind of thing can really cause sonic attacks. President Golden Retriever has some doubts. The weapon in front of me looks really difficult to connect with the so-called sonic weapon. It is too small. Of course. Neo, you can show him. Morpheus smiled. It is good. Neo nodded. When talking, he picked up the weapon and pointed it at a working intelligent robot. There was also a trigger-like thing on the weapon. Neo didn't think much about it, so he pressed it down. Silence. There is no movement. 1 second. 2 seconds. Just when President Golden Retriever felt inexplicable, the intelligent robot targeted by Neo suddenly trembled violently, and a crisp voice came from it. Click, click, click. The smart robot that originally looked sturdy and exuding metallic luster, the metal blocks on its body were actually breaking down little by little, and in the blink of an eye, it shattered into pieces. Wow. Immediately afterwards, other intelligent robots came quickly and cleaned up the debris. Is this really the role of weapons? President Golden Retriever can't stop talking. He hadn't seen anything from the weapon just now. On the contrary, the robot's collapse was more like it exposed itself. If it was caused by the weapon, it would be terrible. The ultrasound weapon launched just now is in a straight line. When it reaches a certain frequency, it is very destructive. The only disadvantage is that ultrasound cannot destroy living organisms, but it can kill biological cells, although it cannot directly kill organisms or humans, but it will have a certain impact on the inside of creatures, making them feel sick, blurred vision, unconscious, and lose their combat effectiveness. Once they are in a straight line, they are extremely destructive to metals and can even shatter the metal, just like that smart machine. In the universe, metal creatures definitely exist, and there are even metal armors. The role of ultrasonic weapons can be imagined. Neo explained lightly. Ultrasonic weapons are definitely a sharp edge. Just after listening to this explanation, President Golden Retriever was not shocked. Instead, a blank look appeared in his eyes. It can't directly cause devastating damage to creatures. This weapon still can't deal with mutant beasts. Your Excellency, since it is a sonic weapon, it is definitely not that simple. Morpheus smiled. Sound waves are divided into several types, namely ultrasonic, infrasound, and strong sound waves. This weapon can use these three. There are different kinds of sound waves, and you only need to adjust the frequency. Ultrasonic waves can cause powerful damage to metals, but infrasound waves can destroy living things. Oh, Neo shouted. Neo knows. Good. A minute later, Neo didn't know where he got a monkey in a cage. Wow. Chick. When the monkey saw the human, all his eyes were angry, and he kept shouting. But Morpheus, Neo, and even Trinina had no reaction at all. Mayor, you can start, Neo said calmly. President Golden Retriever watched quietly. Yeah. Morpheus nodded and quickly adjusted his fingers on the sonic weapon. The whole process took less than 3 seconds. After he was done, he directly aimed the weapon at the monkey. Snapped. With a finger move, he pressed the trigger. Puff puff. The monkey in the cage seemed to have all the blood vessels in his body exploded. The mouth, nose, ears, and eyes all spewed blood out. President Jean Mao trembled slightly when he saw this. Just pull the trigger. Even from beginning to end, without hearing any sound, the monkey bleeds from 7 holes inexplicably and died directly, and the death is extremely terrifying. Infrasound waves generally appear before storms, volcanic eruptions, and tsunamis. Such sound waves have extremely strong penetrability. Humans have certain limits on the frequency of sound waves, and they will not hear the existence of such sounds. But it has the extremely powerful lethality can severely destroy the spirit of living things, destroy the brains of living things, destroy the internal organs of living things, and kill living things. Morpheus explained calmly. President Golden Retriever, although he doesn't know what's going on. At that time, the intelligent robot and the death of the monkey finally started to have a certain understanding of sonic weapons. It seems that this is really a terrifying weapon. President Golden Retriever continues to watch the latest weapons in the 51st District of the United States. At the same moment, what happened here in the island country directly shocked the whole world. China country. Because of national conditions, it may be possible to conceal some truth. When Yi Bei invaded the island country and slaughtered countless humans, the internet and the media in almost the world were all agitated. Among them, Ben, who has always been very concerned about mutant beasts, learned the news and immediately mobilized satellites to go over the island country. When the latest scene was captured, Ben sat in an office chair and couldn't speak for a long time. Mutated beasts, this is too strong. Although the island country does not have a real army, they have definitely been studying weapons and importing high-end weapons from the United States over the years. The ranking in the world is even higher. Is such a country, facing the invasion of a mutant python, has no power to fight back? It was defeated in an instant. Ben muttered. At the same time, I unconsciously think of the Atlantic event and the Sahara event in my mind. The cold sweat on his forehead could not help but slowly increase. The East China Sea, the island country. This kind of large country is helpless. In addition to the Ben, when the island country incident broke out, the media around the world also had both fear and excitement. Excitement. Fear is the worry that mankind will really suffer an unprecedented disaster. The excitement, because there will be a big news report soon, the world will be a sensation again, and huge wealth will be produced. The most important thing is that this time the governments of major countries have kept silent. At this point, it is imperative that the truth be made public globally, and there is no force to stop it. Island crisis. How terrible is the mutant python? The United States needs a hero. First of all, on the BBC News in the United States, such a big headline was directly hung up. As soon as the news came out, the entire country was shocked. After all, many people did not know about the island incident. Of course, nothing is happiest than the Huaxia Kingdom in the island country. The island country has suffered unprecedented retaliation. The entire country has been destroyed, and the blame is on its own, you see headline. A small place, the despicable nation is completely eradicated. Tianyao Forum. Celebrate the whole world. Congratulate from all directions. The mutant python is the hero of our country. TX News. The entire Huaxia Kingdom, similar to this news name, like mushrooms after the rain. Countless, of course, the most shameless among them is TX News, which directly arranged the identity of a Huaxia Kingdom hero for the mutant python. But after the news was released, it received more than 50 likes and more than 1 million comments on the internet. Compared with the disaster in Donghai City, the people of Huaxia country obviously have deeper hatred for the island country. From this point alone, it can be easily seen that Huaxia country has been very successful in educating ordinary people over the years. Just when the whole world was talking about the island country and collecting photos of the disaster scene of the island country. Island country, Prime Minister's office. Zizi. Yi Bei was entrenched in the hall, and the scarlet letter in his mouth kept spitting out. You now have two choices. Either I will destroy the entire island nation, or from now on, the island nation will be under the control of the mutant beast army, and all island nations will become slaves and pets. The voice was cold. His eyes swept over the island ministers one by one, and these words were not at all wordy. Slave pet? Pega, even if I die, I am also a samurai in the island country. Let me become a slave and pet of those monsters. I will definitely not do it. An island minister unexpectedly awakened the Bushido spirit at this time, and when he looked at Yi Bei, his mouth roared and his flaws were cracking. Huh. It's just, when this guy's voice just fell, Yi Bei launched the bullet, and the scarlet letter was stretched out, and it was rolled into his mouth in the blink of an eye. Because the speed is too fast. In the eyes of the ministers of the surrounding island countries, they only saw a person suddenly disappeared in place. The air was full of blood, and there was a pool of blood on the ground. Plus Yi Bei's mouth was hanging blood. Did you eat him? In addition to fear, some ministers felt incredible, even strange. It was fine just now. How could this be? Very scary. Someone was shaking. I am willing. As long as I live, I can do anything. Owano deserves to be a role model. Although I don't know how the minister died just now, the breath of death spread around him, and he directly took the so-called hatred, forget it, desperately express his loyalty. Someone should take the lead in this kind of thing. When Owano chose to yield, the other ministers hardly hesitated. The choice is very simple. The strong in this world are respected. In normal times, they are slaves to the Americans. Now they are slaves to the mutant beast army. There is nothing wrong with them. I do. Snake God, you can let me do anything in the future. I am willing, as long as I live. I have no opinion. In the hall, the ministers who usually live in the island country have expressed their attitudes. Ho! At this time, the prime minister of the island country was constantly inhaling. The island country has always claimed to be one of the best countries in the world. As a result, it was not used for an hour, and it was completely wiped out and became a colony of monsters. All this is just like dreaming. Until now it is unknown. He has not recovered. But, seeing that basically all the ministers of the island country chose to submit, he did not have any resistance at this time. I promise. When these 3 words were spoken, the island prime minister seemed to be more than 10 years old in an instant. 10 minutes later, all communications in the island's prime minister's office resumed. Representatives of the island's prime minister, plus the most powerful ministers of the island country, gathered together in front of the audience in front of the island's television sets and announced a shocking world and subverting all human news. The content of the message is as follows. Run. Baga, go to the supermarket to grab some food. Get out of me quickly. The prosperous area of the island country has been completely chaotic. The streets are full of various curses. Incidents of snatching goods and conflicts are occurring every minute and every second. Even many humans have been killed fiercely in the process of fighting. Money has completely lost its role in this country. Materials become the object of competition for everyone. Keanu is one of them. As an ordinary islander, his daily job is to be a cashier in a convenience store, with a small salary, crawling a little bit at the bottom of the country. When I thought my future would always be like this, disaster broke out. On this day, he was on duty at a convenience store, and he clearly saw countless people smashing the convenience store madly for supplies, and various tragic pictures appeared before his eyes. Baga, die for me. For a box of instant noodles, a man unceremoniously grabbed a woman's hair and threw it to the ground while yelling in his mouth, even stepping on the woman's head with his foot. These drinks are all Lao Tzu's. Get out. An old man who has been buying supplies on weekdays, who is in his 60s and pays great attention to etiquette, has red eyes at the moment. For 2 bottles of drinks, he not only bursts out swear words, but also seems to be out of control. Open the door for me. Outside the convenience store, countless people screamed. These scenes all deeply affected Keanu. It's crazy, it's all crazy. I take care of this shop. Today, I won't sell all the things here. It's all mine. Keanu, who has been living at the bottom, felt that this was his rise. There was only hope. After reacting, he participated in the competition without hesitation. The hot and crazy eyes in his eyes were not inferior to the others. Zizi. However, just when Keanu joined the ranks of grabbing supplies, in a convenience store, a hanging TV used to broadcast advertisements suddenly appeared some snowflakes and made noises. A few seconds later, the screen flashed, and the prime minister of the island country led all high-level officials to appear on the TV. Call. At this time, the entire convenience store was quiet a lot. Haha. Almost all the crazy island people raised their heads and watched the TV. Although they were crazy about the supplies, they intuitively told them that the appearance of the island prime minister was likely to be something important to announce. In desperation, these people, including Keanu, have a glimmer of hope that is difficult to detect. It's just that what the prime minister of the island country and those high-level people conveyed. Let these people continue to subvert the worldview. Dear people of the island nation, here, I announce a very exciting news. On the television, the island prime minister and a group of high-level officials have smiles and loud voices. Okay, this moment, all the people of the island country who saw the news shivered slightly, breathing quickly, and the sense of anticipation in their eyes surged. Did we win? Sure enough, the fighters of the island nation are the greatest in the world. At the beginning, we almost occupied the entire Chinese nation and even almost dominated the world. We should trust the government. You must have won. You must have won. Be quiet and keep listening. At this moment, order has begun to recover little by little, and many islanders clenched their fists and were full of confidence in their own country. On the TV, the voice of the Prime Minister of the island country continued. If someone observes carefully, it is not difficult to find that his smile is very stiff. From now on, as long as everyone maintains order and does not make any resistance, there is absolutely no danger to life. Moreover, our island nation has joined the mutant beast army. That is to say, we will be dependent on their strength in the future. Get rid of the shackles of the United States, continue to survive in this world, and use the best resources. When talking about this, the island prime minister paused, his voice slightly hoarse and heavy. We are still us. We just changed a backer. As the first countries to join the mutant beast army, in the future, the benefits we will get will be extremely rich. We have caught up with the best era. All are lucky. The complexion is red and hot. The expression is very serious. At this moment, in the island prime minister's mansion, Yibei has been watching this speech silently. Hearing this, Yibei sincerely admires these guys. The black ones are called white ones. Except for the slightly unnatural expression, everything else is extremely normal. There is even evidence. Human beings have been able to rule the earth for so many years. There really is a reason. In his heart, Yibei had to sigh with emotion. Our island country is great, and the mutant beast army is also great. In the future, our future will no longer be limited to the development of science and technology. In terms of physical fitness in the universe, we will also have unprecedented progress. The future is worth the wait. The Prime Minister of the island country is still continuing. After a minute, the speech is over. The island countries, the people who are still alive, are all shocked. We will become one of those monsters in the future? In the convenience store, Kino stared at the TV blankly. The changes came too fast, like a tornado, and it was unacceptable for a while. How could this be? They ruined our island country. Now we want to join them. A man in his 50s murmured, his face pale. The island country has never lacked angry youths. A man in his 20s, watching the TV, he was furious after hearing the words inside. Damn bastard. Even if colonized by the US, it's better the beasts colonize. Even if I die, I won't surrender to those beasts. At least I am a human being. In addition to doubts, most people in the island country also have a surviving expression. Great. Ha! You don't need to die. As long as you are alive, you can do anything. The mutant beast army is so strong. What's wrong with joining them? Such voices account for almost half of the island nations. It's just that this speech by the Prime Minister of the island country not only spread throughout the island country, but also caused terrible waves all over the world. When the news here spread, the United States, Russia, the United Kingdom, France, China, and countless heads of state with a little bit of strength, all froze in front of the computer, unable to speak for a long time. At the same moment, the major news media quickly forwarded this news. Global sensation, the island nation surrendered and became a subsidiary race in the mutant beast army. In the 51st District of the United States, President Golden Retriever stared at the news and couldn't believe it. The island people, who were so arrogant before, surrender so fast now? What do they want to do? Don't you know that they now represent humanity? Once surrendered, it will bring terrible consequences to the whole world. The British Prime Minister gritted his teeth and trembled, as if he was extremely angry. The island nation surrendered. The entire process took less than 2 hours. The mutant beasts are far more powerful than imagined. But from another perspective, they did it right, and at least survived. The Russian emperor, squinting, stood in front of the computer with his hands on his back, his eyes silent. Damn islanders. Wish all the women in their country will be killed by those mutant beasts. The French president was so angry that he even broke out swear words. Okay, great. The king of mutant beasts went to the island country. which shows that he has shifted his focus from Huaxia Kingdom. This is a great thing. It is estimated that the head of Huaxia Kingdom is the happiest person in the world. After receiving the news, 2 good words were uttered in his mouth. In addition to these major powers in the world, the ordinary people were even more shocked when they heard the news. Island country joins the mutant beast army? All the islanders have betrayed human beings? This group of people are rape. Are they idiots? A group of cowardly islanders. No, they are not worthy of being human. It is strongly recommended that the country produce weapons and sink the island country. On the internet, netizens in major countries keep posting such posts every minute and every second. Island country. Prime Minister's office. Snake God, I have finished talking. The island Prime Minister bent down, his eyes lost, and he didn't even look at Yi Bei. Even if he was unwilling to do so, he did not dare to show it at all. Between life and death, he undoubtedly chose to live a humble life. Very good, but this is not enough. There should be many self-defense forces in the island country. If the order is passed on, all those who dare to mess around will be arrested as my food. As for the human beings who surrender, I will give them some reward so that every human being can evolve. In addition, all the beasts of the island country, including birds and insects, are transported to a place within 100 kilometers from here. Yi Bei entangled himself, vomiting a letter, and his voice was extremely cold. Yes, the Prime Minister of the island country and the high levels, although some did not understand Yi Bei's approach, did not dare to hesitate. When facing death threats, the efficiency of the island government has increased hundreds of times in an instant. Wow. On the streets, a large number of self-defense forces and police were dispatched. All human beings who dare to resist, no matter who they are or what their status, are all caught up. Pets kept in human homes, animals waiting to be slaughtered in restaurants, even ants on the ground, all gathered at a very fast speed within 100 kilometers of the Prime Minister's office. This process lasted a full day. 1 day later, everything that Yi Bei ordered was all prepared. Snake God, in addition to the mountains and forests, there are some hidden creatures that cannot be caught. In the entire island country, more than 80% of non-human creatures have all been transported to within 100 kilometers. All human beings who disagree with your rule of the island country are all arrested and can be executed at any time. The Prime Minister of the island nation was bent over, and the busy day of the day made him a lot older, and his eyes were bloodshot. When he said this, his voice was even more hoarse. So many people in the island nation turned out to be the islanders themselves. It's ironic to send it to the monster's mouth as food. Very well, just keep working as usual. Knowing that everything was ready, the entrenched Yi Bei opened his eyes and said lightly, "Call." The moment the sound fell, the majestic field of mental power was released from him. All conditions can be clearly observed within a diameter of 100 kilometers. Hundreds of thousands of islanders were maimed by the self-defense forces because of resistance. They were covered in blood and unconscious, kneeling on the ground, waiting for execution. Tens of millions of various creatures are controlled by cages and huge nets. All the major races. From now on, you are free, and then the entire island nation will be your world. When the evolution potion enters here, all of you will have the opportunity to evolve. In addition, you will be a member of the mutant beast army, but before that, you keep order and work hard to survive. Under the mental power domain, Yi Bei's voice directly resounded in the minds of all creatures of different races. Because most creatures have not evolved, IQ is very low. When I heard what Yi Bei said, his eyes were completely confused. However, the fear of powerful creatures made them extremely quiet at this moment and crawling. On the ground, he dared not move at all. After ordering this, whoosh, Yi Bei didn't hesitate at all next. If the food delivered from the island country is not consumed, wouldn't it be a waste? The body turned into a silver-white light. Roar. There was a low growl in his mouth. The speed of the body reached the extreme in an instant. 10 minutes later, at least 10,000 islanders became the food in Yi Bei's mouth. 20 minutes. 30 minutes. Congratulations to the host for devouring a human and gaining 10,000 evolution points. Congratulations to the host for devouring a human and gaining 10,000 evolution points. The sound of the system constantly resounded in Yi Bei's mind. 10,000, 100,000, 200,000. The whole world is watching. This crazy speed of devouring. Human beings are like grass, making those clamoring on the internet chill all over. With the continuous evolution, Yi Bei swallows humans, and there is not much pressure in itself. All of them are island people, and all of them are island people who do not surrender and want to eradicate the mutant beast army. Yi Bei swallows it. No pressure at all. The number of devourers is still increasing. Evolution points are also growing rapidly. In the body, the scorching hot energy constantly circulated, making every cell in Yi Bei's body boil. 40 minutes. Yi Beijing swallowed it happily, when the system suddenly rang a different voice. After hearing this voice, Yi Bei stopped decisively. His eyes flashed with extremely excited light. He was about to evolve, and the system also gives the latest reward. You know that after leaving the Sahara Desert, the appearance of systems has become less and less. Dear host, because the current population of devouring organisms is too fast and the evolution points are accumulated too much, the evolution points will be allocated according to a certain proportion. According to the system calculation, the host will get a chance for genetic evolution, and the physical fitness will also be greatly improved. Specific data after evolution will be given. The system reminder came very suddenly. Yi Bei didn't hesitate at all when he stopped. He had been struggling for genetic evolution points before, but according to the current situation, it seems that simply devouring organisms will also be eligible for evolution. System, what does it mean? The proportional distribution of evolution points is genetic evolution. That is to say, evolution points can actually be transformed into gene points. It can be understood that when any creature swallows a certain amount, it will start a hidden mission. So far, the host has swallowed more than 1 million humans and has been awarded the title of Million Man Slash, so it will be rewarded for one allocation. Qualifications. Hidden mission? Yi Bei was a little confused. The system had also opened several hidden missions before. Probably that's the case, but before evolving, it is recommended that the host find a safe place. The system answers. I know. Yi Bei was too lazy to ask further. Be stronger. Continue to be stronger. This is what Yi Bei wants to do. First, strengthen the physical fitness. As for genetic evolution, after the island nation's affairs are handled, I will proceed again, and then go to the Death Forest. Yi Bei continued. It is good. The system's sound falls. Click, click. In the next instant, a huge energy burst out from Yi Bei's body. Rumbling. Under global surveillance. Yi Bei's body instantly became its largest state. The 500-meter-long body burst the surrounding buildings, and the rumbling noise continued. At this time, the global humans who were staring at the computer finally returned a little. Excessive. Swallowing so many islanders. What does this monster treat us as humans? What does he want to do? The one who bought karma has become so big in an instant. Isn't this a science fiction movie? The people of the island nation have finally received retribution. During World War II, they were able to kill even the humankind, and the number of people killed was definitely more than the people eaten by this monster. To be honest, this scene is very shocking to me, but I am not sympathetic. Upstairs must be a Chinese national. You can see such comments everywhere on the internet. But soon, these voices slowly subsided, because under the global attention, Yi Bei's body was beginning to undergo tremendous changes. In ruins, the sun shines. The silver-white bodies are entwined together. Click, click. Across the computer screen, you can hear a burst of clicks and clicks. The evolution points are full, and the physical fitness has been fully evolved and improved. This increase process is very rapid, and it can be seen clearly by human eyes. The body length is 550 meters. It is still increasing. Rumble. The ruins of the surrounding buildings were squeezed out and rumbling when Yi Bei's body grew larger. 600 meters. 700 meters. 750 meters. It only took less than 10 seconds for Yi Bei's body to grow to 750 meters. This change made all biologists around the world stunned. Quick, quick. This python seems to be evolving. The maximum body length has increased from 550 meters to 750 meters. We immediately adjusted the latest data and analyzed its destructive power. Our understanding of him is far from enough. A famous biologist from the United States, Hugh Bow, who has been studying mutant beasts recently, stared at the computer and yelled, "Yes, analyze now." Bang bang. Next to him, a technician flew with his fingers, slapped on the keyboard, and various strange line models appeared in the computer, and at the same time a large number of numbers were beating. He stared at the computer. The eyes are getting bigger and bigger. The huge amount of data made the technician's eyes all fear. However, just as he was shocked by the data, another exclaimed voice rang. "Selling karma. This python has not only grown longer, but the diameter, weight, and size of the body are all changing, and the overall strength is increasing wildly. If this continues, we humans will never be able to kill him." A technician who said this was only in his 30s, in a suit and leather shoes, but his hands trembled violently, staring blankly at the screen on the computer, unable to recover for a while. Still increasing? Hugh Bow trembled and his voice was horrified. Diameter, weight, and even the color of this monster's body are changing. If he can really continue to evolve by devouring creatures, it will become how powerful? When talking about this, Hugh Bow felt that the knowledge he had learned over the years was completely useless. The appearance of mutant beasts directly subverted the iron law left by countless predecessors. Not only Hugh Bow, at this moment, all the biologists in the world who are studying mutant beasts are all shocked. Island country. Among the ruins of the city. Click, click. The improvement in physical fitness made the bones rattle, but for Yi Bei, this feeling was unprecedentedly refreshing. 1 minute. 5 minutes. Around, all the creatures are hiding far away. 10 minutes later. This evolution stopped. Call. The body was entrenched. After the evolution was completed, Yi Bei took a deep breath and immediately began to check his brand new body. This time it was only an improvement in physical fitness. Next comes genetic evolution. In other words, this trip to the island country is definitely rewarding. The island nation has been fully controlled. It seems that we can find a time to return to China. Guyu's matter has been resolved. But Yishan, there are still many people who have been looking for trouble behind have not dealt with it, and strive for within a month. Control the entire planet. While observing the body through the field of mental power, Yi Bei muttered to himself. Okay. However, just when Yi Bei said this, the new data after this evolution made his eyes suddenly light up. An evolution after a long time. It seems that the degree of evolution is completely different from the previous one. All aspects of the body data have undergone tremendous changes. This time evolution is no less than the evolution at the genetic level. The system immediately get my current physical data to see. Yi Bei's voice couldn't wait. Ho-ho. The island country is sunny and full of white clouds. Occasionally, there is a sea breeze blowing constantly, making this place very dreamy. If you put the camera in the city at this moment, it is another kind of scenery. Rumble. Every moment, huge buildings collapse, making a rumbling noise. Wow. The fire continued, the smoke billowed, and the entire city was turned into ruins, and in some empty places, a large number of humans gathered. But, because the island country is surrounded by the sea, even though such a catastrophe has occurred, the sea breeze blows away the dense smoke. There is no major obstacle to satellite monitoring of this country. Yi Bei's body was entrenched in the ruins. When he was evolving just now, Yi Bei knew that there must be countless humans observing him, but he had no intention of hiding it. With the Death Forest, he was completely invincible and let humans see himself. There is nothing wrong with his strength. System, show me the data. The scarlet letter spit out, and Yi Bei ordered the system. Yes. The next moment, an oversized fluorescent screen appeared in front of Yi Bei. Only Yi Bei can see this screen. In the eyes of human beings, Yi Bei is just tilting his head and looking ahead. His body stopped, and this kind of action has made countless humans very puzzled. On the screen, the latest data is clearly displayed. Infinite Evolution System. Name: Yi Bei. Intermediate breed: Silver Giant Titan Python, a new breed of Titan Python, the latest evolutionary height. Age: 2 years old. Lifespan: 1,500 years. The number of evolutionary genes in the fifth stage of Titan Python, 1,000/10,000. The whole stage is 7. The host has completed 3 at present and has obtained the 4th stage of evolution conditions. You can choose to evolve at any time. Evolution points: 1,000,000/1,000,000. Evolution points. Increase physical fitness. Does not provide species evolution. Level: LV3. After leveling up, genes can be changed to move towards a higher level of snake-like species. Language: biological universal language. Ignoring the scope of the field, as long as you can talk, you can communicate. Abilities: full fangs, fire breathing, underwater free movement, enhanced 2 times, spines, ability grant, bullet time, body shape. Apostle: 5. Use number 3, namely Wong 1, Golden Lion, Blood Moon. Treasure: Chiankuan bag, with a usable area of 20 square kilometers. Territory: 100 kilometers in diameter, centered on the host location. The spiritual power coverage is all territories, and the island country, Donghai City. The Sahara Desert is a new territory. At any time, as long as the host wishes, it can be clearly observed. Length: 750 meters. Average body diameter: 25 meters. Body anti-stress capacity: 800 level. Speed: 280 m/section. Strength: 800 t. Can easily lift 260 t weight. Weight: 1,500 tons. Blood value: 100 out of 100. Body damage value: 100 out of 100. Mental strength: 100 out of 100. Task 1. Rescue the female snake. Task reward: the number of evolution genes plus 200. Task 2. Evolve into a giant swallowing python. Reward: a diamond treasure chest. Task 3. Trigger a new task. Fully crack the beast civilization technology and reward 1,000 evolution genes. Task 4. Take full control of the Earth, create a new civilization, and reward an opportunity for genetic evolution. This evolution is really amazing. After Yi Bei read the data, he couldn't help feeling. First of all, one's lifespan has actually changed from 1,000 years to 1,500 years. This kind of growth is beyond expectation. You must know that lifespan is extremely valuable to any creature. In addition, the species has also changed. The silver-white giant Titan python, in the following remarks, has become the latest evolutionary height instead of the previous legendary creature. This shows that the current Yi Bei is on the entire Earth, and even there is a unique existence in the entire universe. The most important thing is that with the help of the infinite evolution system, as long as there is enough food, he will evolve even more terrifying in the future. Body length, diameter, weight, strength, and even speed have been greatly improved. Even more than the improvement obtained by genetic evolution, the improvement in overall strength is terrifying. In addition, the rules of the domain have also changed. Previously, only 100 kilometers within the range of spiritual power. Now it has become 150 kilometers. Even more exaggerated is the island country, Donghai City, and the Sahara Desert. Ignoring the distance, as long as Yi Bei is willing, he can always cover the past. This is awesome. It means that as long as he continues to evolve, his spiritual power will continue to grow. Someday in the future, Yi Bei will become the whole on earth, the only ruler, the only God. Of course, there was one other that attracted Yi Bei's attention. After this evolution, the system unexpectedly issued a brand new mission to fully control the Earth and create a brand new civilization, which will directly reward a chance for genetic evolution. This mission is clearly to bewitching him. System: to rule the Earth in an all-round way, to establish a brand new civilization. Can it be built on the basis of the beast civilization and the current human civilization? Or must a completely different civilization be recreated? The improvement in IQ: it is easy for Yi Bei to think too much about simple things. The latest mission released by the system makes Yi Bei feel very mysterious, so he must ask clearly. In fact, human civilization is based on part of the civilization of the beast gods. This mission means that the host can create an era of your own, the era of the mutant beast army, and the basis of civilization is not important. The system's answer this time is very clear. Then I know what to do. Yibei nodded slightly. His eyes burst out with a cold light. Since the war with mankind, Yibei has made up his mind to turn the whole world into the order in his mind sooner or later. Although this kind of thinking is crazy and selfish enough, this is his true heart. Host, please find a safe place as soon as possible for genetic evolution. After the system reminded such a sentence, it disappeared completely. Yibei looked up slightly. Roar. Opened his mouth. A low growl broke out in his mouth. An order that could completely change the world's structure continued to resound all around.
Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe.